Welcome back to the Catch Goes podcast. It is the three of us back together for the first time in a couple weeks. You could be watching this on YouTube at 4:30 on a Sunday. You could be listening to this on Spotify and iTunes at 7:30 on a Sunday morning. Guys, I'm a little out of it. It's been a while. What's been going on? Catch me up. How are we doing?
Yo, he has been gone, I would say, for the accumulative. I mean, not like on video, but like, in total, almost a month, no?
Yeah, I've been away from the channel for a while. I
Holy.
had to take care of some things. But in this time period, I was thinking of one thing.
Yeah.
Our channel is over 100 videos now,
Mm-hmm.
and Ryan Stork has not missed a single video where he is either featured, like not the intro videos, but his intro video plus all the other ones we've done together. He has not missed. So
I'm here for it.
Kudos to that guy.
I'm here. I'm not leaving. You can't get rid of me.
Don't
Even
leave.
if you fire me, I'm still in the background.
Did we promote him?
No.
I think
No.
we did. I thought we did.
It was like senior janitor.
Oh, well. But yeah, like we mentioned, I was gone for a while. I had to fill in for a musical, a little known show called Shrek. And they got to paint me green, which I'm still a little green in some areas. It's just not gonna go away.
You are Shrek now.
Yeah.
That
It's
is just who you
infused in
are, and you
you.
can't get rid of it.
The amount of memes I've made and the amount of memes I see just of like Shrek, how Shrek is just so culturally vast in our world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why, like, okay, if I were the director of that
Yeah.
show, right, setting it
Yeah.
all together, I would try to connect with the meme of like what Shrek is, and I would have made the classical and you guys maybe did the outhouse where you just bust through.
Yeah, that is in the Broadway one. In the Broadway
Oh.
Shrek, he busts through the outhouse, but not in our
Nope,
show. I think
yeah.
the script changed, so it doesn't call for one anymore. So we didn't have one anyway. But you really would have known if either of you came to see me in Shrek.
I did.
Yeah,
we
I did. There was
no,
I
you
was-
guys
Farquaad.
Please, world, don't listen to these
Right.
two. They are
I
liars.
was in the darkness. I could tell you what happened.
Well,
it's
I
pretty,
just
Well,
want to
that's Shrek.
state, for me and Ryan's sake, Ryan and
Yeah.
I's sake, you said that you haven't watched the podcast that we've been making because you've been busy.
Yeah,
I think that's
I've
the
been
same
very
thing.
busy.
If you listen to the podcast, you have heard that me and Ryan have also been busy.
Yo, and
so
on top
it's
of
not
that,
like I can just sack off everything I'm doing and go watch
Yeah, you
Shrek
can.
for
Yeah,
2
you
hours.
can. Yeah,
on
you
top
can.
of that, right? Snow squall, freaking snowstorm.
That was what day was that? Was that Thursday or was that Wednesday?
Wednesday.
That was Wednesday.
That was the first time I heard of that.
Yeah,
We were running the show and they were like, "Oh yeah, snow squall is happening," and everyone. No, that was Thursday. It was Thursday.
No. I was out of work
No,
on.
it was-
I can tell you
Wednesday,
why.
I think.
I can tell you why it was Thursday.
Okay.
Our parrot night was on Thursday, and everyone's alert for the snow squall was going off in the auditorium. So the entire audience, because we all thought it was like an Amber Alert, but it was everybody in the audience had their phone going off, and that's how I remember it was Thursday because it was a big audience. Not a
At
big
that
audience, but
point,
there's people.
At that point, do you guys just stop for like a couple of minutes, or do you
Nah,
just keep going through
you
it?
just gotta carry on. I don't know if you've seen this clip on TikTok or YouTube. It was like this Peter Pan production, and like Peter Pan is on a
Yes.
lift, so you can
Yes.
fly, and she like comes flying through the window and breaks it, and the whole audience goes, but like she just carries on, and it's like that's literally what you have to do. I mean,
Props.
if
Yeah, go
something
ahead.
happens, if there's something like we talked about this, if you drop something or if something happens where you can fix it in some sort of way, try. Just try
Yes.
to make a moment out of it. So on our opening night show, Farquaad like is on his knees and has a big cape and little legs to cover his legs and show he only has little legs. And the cape that covers him fell off. And it was like the last scene of the show, and I was like, well, what do I do here? Because I'm standing right next to him, and I'm like, can I put this back on his shoulders here?
Mm.
And like there was a little break in dialogue, and I just threw in the line, don't get cold feet now, because in the story, Fiona's an ogre, and Farquaad's dad comes in, he's like, bro, you're 28 living in my basement, you suck. And then like Farquaad's, no, I'm mad. So I was like, don't get cold feet now, meaning like, oh, he could be cold because he's scared now, and I put the cape back on top of him, but it fell right back off anyway. I
Oh.
was like, well,
would've-
screw that.
I would have been like, "Oh, buddy, don't like you need to get you need to get a new tailor for your cape." Like,
Yeah, there was one night, earlier in the week. It was like Monday or Tuesday night of rehearsal. There's a quick transition where Fiona has to become an ogre, and somebody missed a line. So she didn't know to come out. She was done with makeup, but that wasn't the problem. But they missed a line, so she didn't know to come out, and we were just all standing there. So I was like, all right. I started improving, and I was like, oh, this is a nice castle you got, Farquaad. And his like crown he gets at the end of the show is on top of like a pedestal, and I was like, well, your crown's up there. I don't know if you can reach it. These different things like that, just to like keep the show going until something changed.
Yeah, that can be pretty scary, to be honest.
It
like,
is our
because you can't prepare for any of that, and
no.
you think that you like have that stuff down, but yeah, just like something small like that can change, and then ripple effect dominoes.
My junior year of high school, I forgot like the first verse of an entire song on parent night, and the same thing happened to the guy who played Donkey in this one on parent night.
God,
He forgot his words, but got through it. Like, if you weren't in the show, you wouldn't have noticed. Whereas with me, it was blatant that I just wasn't singing, and like he kept saying words, and he got back on track, so it worked out. But he was down the rest of the night. But I told him that, and that I've done it too. We all do it at some point. But overall, show went great. I'm still green, but I think
you have like a green hue as well.
I think it
like,
might be coming from the hat and the yellow shirt, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me since there's direct light on me that you're seeing the green come out, because it's probably still stained. But this was like overall so meaningful to me, just because I haven't had an experience like this in theaters since like pre-COVID. So it kind of, to a sense, reinvigorated my passion for it. So I've been like openly or actively looking for other auditions, and like I know you guys have seen singing on TikTok or YouTube, posting it on YouTube, Facebook, different things like that. So I'm planning on doing more of those. But yeah,
That's pretty cool. My mom literally asked. She goes, "Does he sing like popular songs like there's just songs that come out?" I'm like, "No, he sort of likes musical stuff, so you probably hear a bunch of that."
yeah, I'll sing musical stuff more often than not. There's like a couple songs here and there that are like pop or 80s that I'll pick up and I'll really enjoy, but a lot of like the modern stuff I don't enjoy or don't bother to learn.
You just,
But yeah.
jump out of left field with La Lamborghini.
No, like I'll jump out with like "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins and just like mimic the drum solo or something. But that's been my life. The last month, I had less than 3 weeks to learn the part, and then including including the show days was 3 weeks in full.
With like school and stuff, and you have to like remember a whole script for yourself.
Yeah, I was remembering the scripts. It was doing school. It was commuting from Green Bay back to West Bend. It was a lot of work, but it's something that I wouldn't trade for the world. It was like probably one of my favorite experiences I've ever had. But shout out to all the Shrek people. Miss you.
Yeah, those people, they are the
You know who you are.
They are the men and women of comedy. Yeah. Comedy show? It was a comedy show.
I mean, it's a comedy musical, I suppose.
Yeah.
I had some sad moments, though. I had to dig deep for those moments. Okay? I'm JKing.
No.
Well, I'm just being stupid now.
Well, I think I want to swap over to a little bit of cool facts that I found out recently.
Okay. Cool facts.
They're really like, my mind blew up, and that takes very little, you know?
Oh, yeah, we know.
But I'm just going to throw out this, right? Van Gogh, right? The famous painter. Was he a painter?
Say Vanguard.
No.
We'll talk about that later.
Van Gogh. Was he a painter or a sculptor?
Painter? Maybe both?
I think painter.
I'm pretty sure there's a Van Gogh museum in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And he did Starry Night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Okay, so
Please
Van Gogh.
don't crucify me if
Dude,
I'm wrong.
we
Go ahead,
stated
Pete.
this on the last podcast that we should have like a banner up the entire time on YouTube that like the news banners that just keep rotating text.
Can we?
And
Can we
it
please?
just says like we are certified idiots. Do not take anything you see
Yeah,
here like as
exactly.
truth. Like
Yeah.
Basically, so Van Gogh, he was alive when Nintendo was founded.
When was
Did you-
Nintendo founded?
1898, I
What
believe.
kind of game are we playing in the 1800s?
they made trading cards.
Yo, Super Mario trading cards?
Well, no, like trading cards like baseball and whatever sport was out then. They're making trading cards.
Baseball was huge. Well, baseball's always been big, but
That was just one of them that blew my mind. That Van Gogh was alive during that time.
blown away.
Did you know that Okay, first of all, Alaska. How close do you think it is to Russia?
Very close. I know it for
Yeah.
a fact. It's like almost connected. or
it's
it is
always
connected.
deceived
part
by
of
the
Alaska
map.
part of Alaska is connected to Russia, I believe.
It is the closest distance between them both is 55 miles.
It's close.
So it's like if they wanted to, they could make a
just
highway
take
across it.
and they could just take it.
Like legitimately, you can get this highway
And-
from Alaska to Russia, and you could have a road trip all through Russia into like India and up into Europe. Like that'd be so cool.
Based on Russia's current actions, I
don't think
wouldn't
they
be
want that.
surprised if they just turn around and take Alaska.
No,
They was like, yo,
they would
this
not.
this one looks good. I'll take
Well,
that
I
one.
mean, if they did, then we are for sure in World War III. They won't straight up attack United
Oh,
States.
like I don't want to get like too much in the whole Ukraine thing, but like just to state it, like the only reason why like nobody's intervening is just because Ukraine's not a part of NATO, and so then we have no reason to do anything. And so what it sounds like, and of course you can say whatever you want to, but it sounds like Putin is just taking back Ukraine because Ukraine was once a part of the Soviet Union. And then once they get back, then it should be over. If it escalates further, then of course people are going to step in. So like if they were to go to like Alaska or something, you have then all of Canada and North America right there. Just
Yeah,
be
you
like,
have
"Hey,
all
what's
of
up?"
NATO. You have all of NATO.
Yeah. So
We'll jump in.
We are quite frankly working from home, if you would like to say that. Like with the technical warfare and stuff.
Yeah. Because I
Um,
know there's sanctions and cyber attacks and different things,
Right.
but that's a good way to put it, Ryan. Thank you.
And then the last little factorino that I have, you can't say the phrase "I wasn't talking to you" in a kind way.
I wasn't
could try
talking to
it.
you.
That sounds sarcastic.
No, it doesn't.
I wasn't talking to you.
I wasn't talking to you. Hey,
Sounds
okay.
mean.
Listen. Prime example. In Shrek overhears Fiona saying, how could someone love such a hideous, ugly beast when she's
I
talking about
wasn't
herself.
talking to you.
When she's talking about herself, but Shrek thinks that's about him. So he's like, I heard what you said. Now imagine Fiona would have just said, I'm talking about you, meaning that she wasn't saying bad things about him. That is a good context.
Hey man, I'm just saying.
You've been proven wrong.
That's a fictional character, man. I mean,
This is for
Fictional
any scenario
feelings.
in life too.
hey,
Special effects? Is that what you said?
I said fictional feelings.
Oh,
the fictional feelings, you know, you can't really.
yeah,
you
whatever.
Can't, you
Well,
can't do it.
those were Sunday's facts with Ryan. Please check
yeah.
in next week for more facts.
Oh god. I gotta look for more.
Let's make that a regular segment. I like that.
I gotta look for more.
And can we have like a little intro in the middle of the podcast? It's like Sunday's facts with Ryan.
Oh gosh.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, you're gonna have to sing the background music for it though.
Yeah.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Well, I think off of Ryan's facts and Frankie's green hue, maybe we do a little bit of talking about the two green teams we got. We got Packers and the Bucks. So I don't know if we want to do a little speculation because, you know, now we're definitely off of all NFL talk for a bit. But we can still speculate on where Aaron Rodgers is going to go. What are our thoughts on the whole process?
I got one word. I got one word.
All right,
I
let me
think
hear
he's
it.
coming back.
Nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think he's going
He
anywhere.
ain't going
I don't
nowhere.
think he's going anywhere.
Like, listen. The Packers and Aaron Rodgers have talked. They're in a good spot. They're both happy with each other. Aaron Rodgers knows the Packers' plan to get under the cap and to proceed next year with a good and competitive team. All Aaron Rodgers has to do is decide where he wants to go. But I think he's also waiting for Devontae Adams to have a development, like if he's going to get a contract extension, if they're going to tag him or what. But you can't really extend him when you're still over the cap limit.
Mm.
He's either going to come back and stay or he's going to retire. That's what I've been saying all off season. He's not going to the Broncos. The Broncos is the really only real option because of our offensive coordinator is now their head coach, Nathaniel Hackett. And I forget who else he took as their offensive coordinator from our staff, but that's the only real place I can see him going. He's not going to go to the Titans. He's not going to go anywhere else. And all the trades I've seen for him are just garbage. Like I would never accept any of them. There's one that I would maybe accept. I don't even remember which one it was. It was probably the Broncos trade. But I don't see him going there. I think he said it so many times that he wants to finish with one team. He has mentioned retirement. It's either retirement or he stays. And then the Packers can continue to get under the cap and move forward to next season and try to get another ring. But that's just my take on it. I'll leave the floor open to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not very well versed with sports that much, but I would say just I don't see him going anywhere because again, if you go to a different team, you're going to have to make those relationships with new wide receivers and you have to figure out how each other play and
Can I add on top of that?
Yeah.
You mentioned relationships. Aaron Rodgers has mentioned relationships so many times. Like that's the reason he came back in the first place is because the relationships with people he had, or relationships he had with those receivers or with the staff. He loved them. He wants to be with them, and that's a good point to bring up.
Yeah, so it's like the pure fact of going to a different team and wasting time to create those relationships and probably slowly getting back in the groove of things with how they play is just I don't see why you should leave to a different team. You should either stay or retire.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much
a good friend of mine in the Shrek cast. Anytime we would mention football or the Green Bay Packers, she'd be like, "Oh yeah, let's go throw the pigskin," and that would always get me. And I was like, "That was funny."
They don't have it as pigskin anymore, right?
I have no idea what it's made of. I know
No
that they
clue.
got to wear it in with mud and stuff. But anyway, yeah, Crouton, your turn.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be either he stays with us for another 1, possibly 2 years, and then retires, or if he doesn't see staying at Green Bay a good choice for this upcoming season, then I think he's just gonna do it early and he's just gonna retire early, because he's not gonna want to actually build a team around. He doesn't want to go to a new team and try and figure that all out again, like what Ryan was saying. And so I don't see there being any point of him, even with familiar faces at the Broncos, he's not going to want to do that. And then it's going to be kind of the same thing with Brett Favre and just all right, I'm leaving the Packers, and then this sucks,
Vikings
retires,
come back,
and then that's it. So,
Aaron has said he will not do that. So that's something we'll have to see.
Footballs are made of cowhide now.
Thank you, Ryan. Shout out to all the cows. Shout out to all the cows.
Yeah, they're like, too many pigs have been slaughtered. Time for the cows.
On Pat McAfee's show, Aaron Rodgers doing an interview the other day. You know the reports of Shailene Woodley and Aaron broke up? There was a clear noise of a voice in the background on Aaron's microphone that was clearly Shailene, and Pat McAfee's just oh. She was like, he was like, I can't. He was like, I've been very respectful with all his personal stuff. I don't like and enjoy to dive into people's personal lives, but I can't help but notice that there's someone laughing in the background. And Aaron goes, It's the TV.
It's the TV.
Everyone just dies laughing because, like, we clearly know what's up, Aaron.
That's pretty funny.
Well, what if it is the TV and, you know, people are just like, yeah, this is the story that I want.
The TV started laughing for 20 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
that's
a
the
funny
thing.
part of the show. I don't know.
The media
Was the background chatter.
on Aaron Rodgers, they'll take anything and run with it. Like,
Oh,
one of the
yeah.
funniest things that came out, I have said this time and time again. I have presented this in papers. I've presented this in speeches for school. How Greg Jennings is such a ripoff of Aaron Rodgers' like popularity to get himself into like the main media picture. There's recent reports that Aaron wants like to be the highest paid quarterback, and that's why he wants to come back. And
Who is the highest paid right now?
Patrick Mahomes,
Mahomes. Do we
But-
know that number or no?
$500 million for 10 years.
Jeez.
Um,
What?
You need a
But,
slice of that dough.
Greg Jennings was like, when I was in that position, Aaron told me, don't be that guy. Like, don't take that money. Be a team player. And Greg Jennings was like, well, no, Aaron's selfish. He's that guy right now. And everyone's just like, anything he says about Aaron Rodgers, most people who are like logical thinkers are like, shut up. And John Kuhn, former fullback for the Packers and now Packers reporter, came out and said, like, he tweeted back Greg Jennings. He's like, but you were that guy. And it was like, yeah, thank you, John. So that was funny.
This article came about 23 hours ago. Aaron Rodgers denies report that he's seeking to become highest paid player in NFL history.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing.
yeah,
Like, people
yeah.
just make up whatever to get clicks.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, who signed a 10-year, $450 million extension in July, that could pay out as much as $503 million.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. Can I get a little bit of that? Like
You would-
1%?
Hey, he's got some personal problems to figure out.
Yeah.
We've all seen that clip of him at
His brother?
courtside at the basketball game with his wife
Oh,
or his fiance.
fiance, yeah.
The report is that he has asked both of them not to come to games anymore.
But also, I saw that recently he denied that. Like, he
Okay.
denied those sayings.
Because
and
I
I-
wouldn't think he'd do that.
Yeah, I don't. And there's no shot that even if he did, any of that would leak out. Like, you know, that would
Mhm.
definitely be like private, like they're at home. So how would anybody
Right.
know?
Right.
But that situation still in all seems rough for him.
Have you guys seen like the leaked clip where like Jackson Mahomes like on an electric bull with like a stripper?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it's like, yo, Jackson Mahomes having fun after the AFC Championship or
Like-
something. And it's like, dude, come
he,
on.
he just needs to pull it together, man. It's-
Yeah, I mean, like, respect to him. You know, you've got a good following. It appears this way. I can't say it is this way. I think it appears this way that he's trying to bask in the spotlight of his brother.
Yes. No, I think that's very apparent.
I can't say that's how it is though because I don't know. I'm not in the situation. I'm not in on it. But
I mean, yeah, if you were to ask him, he'd be like, "No, this is all just me." But I
Yeah.
think if you look at, or if you just talk to anybody else looking at this from the outside in, it's very much that's how it's at least
hey,
perceived as.
I'm proud of him for going out there and being himself though. You can't take that away from him. But anyway, let's move over to the Bucks. Shout out Brittany Mahomes. I know it's not her last name yet, but anyway. I almost said the Tampa Bay Bucks. I hate that team.
Ooh.
Give me the Milwaukee Bucks every time.
Here we go. Yeah. So for Bucks talk, you know, it was All-Star Week. Team LeBron won, and Giannis was actually on that team. So
MVP.
Giannis, you know, got that All-Star ring then because
MVP.
past 2 years it's been LeBron team and Giannis team, and then Giannis hasn't won that. But now that they were combined forces, Giannis got that ring with that.
Wait, what is his? How old is he?
Who?
Giannis?
Giannis?
He's 28 or 27. Fact checker Ryan
Ooh, yeah.
on the
I
turn
can get
here.
that fact check.
29 years old.
He's 29.
Ah,
Doesn't he have like
5
the
months and 28
he
days.
has, like the best resume of like someone
yeah,
that his age?
Yeah.
Like,
Wait.
Yeah. Crazy.
it's crazy.
Oh God. That's not the right Giannis.
Oh god.
my god.
How do you spell Giannis?
G.
Just look up
I-
Milwaukee Bucks Giannis, and then I don't even care how you
Oh.
spell it; it should pop up.
He goes, oh.
Oh.
Watch his pin action.
Why
Oh
do
my
I?
gosh.
Okay.
How
Yeah,
old
that's
is he?
What is it?
27.
That's what I
27.
thought. That's what I
27,
thought.
Whoever the
Who'd
movie
you look
actor
up?
Giannis is,
Okay.
started with a J.
That's the wrong Giannis.
He's 29.
Yeah,
Dang,
so
shout out.
All-Star Weekend happened. The dunk contest, as you probably have seen, was just like very poor. But other than that, I mean, like, we've had the big trade. I think I've already mentioned that with like Harden and Simmons and everything in the last podcast.
Mhm.
But Middleton was on the other team, KD's team, and again, you've probably seen like the Giannis blocking Chris like clips everywhere and stuff like that, which is funny just because it's all banter and stuff, but
Right,
Right.
right.
it's funny to see. Otherwise, and like we're getting back into the season tonight. The day that we're filming this Saturday, we play the Nets, so that's going to be a really good game.
Shout out.
It's kind of sucky because the second half of the season is definitely like we have a tough schedule, and coming off of All-Star Week and then going into a game like this is going to be kind of tough, a little blunt, but we do
Blunt?
have what
A blunt.
kind of blunt,
Hmm.
like hard, like tough.
Oh,
Okay, dude, what are you
yes.
thinking of?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah?
No, I was with you the whole time. I was with you the whole time.
Like a
I was with you the
blunt
whole
weapon,
time.
like a baseball bat.
But otherwise, if you have seen the Bucks Instagram posts, at least that's where I saw it. I don't know, they might do it on Twitter and stuff. But on Instagram, they
Shout out.
showed pictures of Brooke Lopez training, shooting some hoops, and that's just an amazing sight to see, personally.
Hey,
So
you are interconnected with that man.
yeah, so
Was he hurt?
what?
Was he hurt? Like, was he out for a season? Is that why?
He was very hurt. Yes.
What happened? Dude, I don't. You're like talking like language I don't know, and it's
He
I need
had
to-
he had back surgery.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that makes sense now.
And Keaton posts like my I don't know what you said. What did you say?
I just said he's back, and then my back surgery brother.
And then I messaged Keaton. I was like,
Yeah.
"Can we be a trio, please?"
Nice pun.
I
He's
got-
back. Yeah.
Dude.
Because
Dude.
I also got back surgery, so I was like, "Yo, trio."
Oh my gosh.
It
we
honestly
squatting up.
Yeah.
might turn into a 4, because
Oh, Ryan's getting back
Yeah.
surgery.
maybe I'm getting pain in my hip and it's going down my leg. So
You should see
that's
a
a
doctor.
sciatic. That's a sciatic problem.
Bet. I know all about that. I dealt
Yeah.
with that for a year, and I hate it. I still deal with it sometimes, but I'm good. I'm a lot better.
I would say it's the chair, but I don't think it is. I think it's from
Oh,
slouching.
That white chair that you and I both had killed me. That was it. That gave me a sciatic
Well, I don't have
sciatic
that chair
nerve.
anymore.
I know you got a different chair now,
Yeah.
but
I don't know what it is, but like
never again.
it'll start.
Nobody buy
go-
that chair.
Yeah, it'll start. It'll go down my leg, and then it'll just stop. I'm like,
Mm.
okay, let's not do that again.
Mm-mm.
I don't want to have my back opened up, wherever the freaking injection point, surgical
And
slice.
injection point.
Yeah, because isn't it that small? It's like a little slit.
Mine's
Yeah.
about that big.
Yeah.
Nice card. Keaton, how big's yours?
Think 1.5 feet.
Yeah, like that. That's about 1.5 feet. That yeah.
I'm so sorry.
We went all through that. I'm asking him
Yeah.
questions like, can you actually like bend forward fully? Can you like he's got metal in his spine?
Yeah, can
dog.
you?
I mean, I was always pretty flexible, so I'm still able to like touch my toes now, but that is mostly like my arm length
Okay.
doing the work. I can like bend and stuff, but in terms of like actually bending my spine, it's very little.
Mm.
It's all
So,
like
yeah, if you-
lower back and like neck.
And this could be I have this written down as like a segment, like things that scare us that we shouldn't be scared of.
Oh, mouth
Like, you get-
injuries.
You get in your mind. Like for him, I feel like if it were me, just the idea, like I'll be laying in bed and all of a sudden I think, I got metal attached to my spine right now. Like I can't. That freaks me out, man.
Oh,
I-
trust me, I've been there, man.
Hey, I am afraid of like mouth injuries.
Why?
It terrifies me, like breaking your teeth or breaking your
That
jaw
would just.
or
Mm-mm.
yeah,
would
exactly.
suck.
I hate the idea.
I always thought about that, like, with, like, any physical activity or something. It's like, dude, I want to get, like, a mouth guard so bad. Just because, like, I don't even want to risk it. Because that would suck.
In 8th grade, I was walking through, like, you know where the track is?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I was walking through the field, like at the end of like lunch recess, and I was done playing football. Out of nowhere, a rogue football from somewhere else just came down and just hit me in the mouth.
Oh.
And I chipped a tooth,
Oh,
and it was just
God.
like out of nowhere. I'm just walking, and just dunk.
It's like that,
Rude.
I don't remember what NBA game it was, but it was some pass, like some whiffed pass or something, and it went straight into the crowd, and it just
Oh,
donked
yeah.
this person on
seen
their
that.
phone.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. Yeah, a little scary.
I have a little funny football story when I was in middle school.
Okay.
Great. It was like end of the year, and around that time, everybody's outside at the end of the day because for some reason they let you outside. You remember that? They're like, after you finished stuff, they're like, oh yeah, just go outside, just don't leave. Yeah. So we're all
Don't run.
out in the middle of the track where it's grass, and we're playing football. And everybody there was collectively like, yeah, let's play tackle. We're not wearing pads, right?
Mm-mm.
Everybody's like, let's play tackle. And then, like, the teachers, they're just not paying attention to us. So, before the rule swap between tackle and two-hand touch happened, my team kicked the ball off down the field. And at that point, I've always worn glasses, and I'm next to Zach, right? Zach is a pretty big guy.
Yeah,
So so Caleb Springer catches the ball, right? He's running down the field, and he's coming right towards Zach and I. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm smaller. Zach's got this, right? He backs up. I'm like, hello? So I'm like, are you kidding me? So I took my glasses off, handed it to him, and I went in. And me and Caleb both collide, and we were both gasping for air. Because we were technically like the same size at that point, so it was very just
Y'all, you were living it up in middle school.
Yeah, I got in like a couple fights too. It was great. 3 fights maybe. Yeah.
Wow, this is why you're the janitor. You just can't keep it together in the workplace.
Dude, honestly, they were all not my fault.
But
That's what they all say.
were you the aggressor?
No, I was the victim. I mean, I could go into it if you like.
Nah, that's all right.
Nothing too bad.
Where are we
but,
sitting at on time, boys?
We're only at 33.
Hey,
So,
let's talk about some Vanguard.
I want to mention, because we talked about the middle school football.
Okay.
Back to Fair Park, we played football all the time.
Yeah.
And it was out by the metal fence, and that was one of the touchdowns. But
Are you gonna talk about what I think I'm gonna talk about?
well, there was multiple things. So if you want to mention it after.
Okay.
But
I used to kill crickets.
okay, dude. What? Okay.
I used to
I'm just gonna bypass that. So we played football out there, and it was the same thing. We started playing tackle, and it was pretty rough. And then we had to go to two-hand touch. And then I think didn't we have to bring flags or something? Like, didn't it transition to that point? It was whatever disliked that entirely, and we had to do something completely different. Maybe then it was like one-hand touch or something like that. Like, we had to make it like as, not rough as possible. But I just remember, but I just remember playing football out there because it was a blast. But I was always paired up, because that's how you do it, is you pair up with somebody like similar size. So I was always blocking Brett Zancanaro. just because we were literally the same size and everything. I was just thought that was pretty funny, but we had quite a few like different people rotate through those games. Like it was a big bunch. So
I don't know if you guys were on this team. There's one day like Max and I had like our grades play against each other, and we got killed. I don't know if either of you were there.
I think I remember that.
But there was one day, Keaton. It was like second or third grade. We're out there on the hill. It was snowy. I don't think we were playing football. But like a bunch of deer came over from like the police department, jumped the fence. One went over Quentin Hansen. I saw you run and hug a tree.
I never remembered.
He said, "I didn't mean to hug the tree."
No, because me and Ryan, I don't know when this was. If this was a podcast a while back when you weren't on, but me and Ryan talked about this because Quentin Hansen got something. He broke something in the process.
Yeah.
And I remember the deers jumping over, and in the podcast, you can go back and watch. I remember having to like literally juke one of those deers. And you always bring up, like we've talked about this many years in the past, you always bring up that I ran to the woods and hugged a tree.
There was a different tree. There was a different tree that you ran and stood
I don't think that ever happened. That must have been some other kid just that my size.
I had an outside view. I watched it all happen. I watched one jump over Quentin, and I saw you run and hug a tree.
Because it was me and Quentin, like literally, like
it's the
probably
Mandela
10
effect.
feet away from each other.
Yeah, and you hugged a tree right there.
I don't think that happened.
There was a tree close. It wasn't all the way at the woods. You didn't run to the woods.
Maybe maybe. I don't know. I don't remember that at all. Maybe it was Brett. Maybe you saw Brett.
No, it was your blue jacket. You had a blue bright jacket on.
All right, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, whatever.
Do you remember the bug song? When we went into the auditorium?
What?
Do you remember that song? No?
How old were we? How old were we?
We'll sing some of it. Hey, you remember the Firehouse song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
Sing it.
I remember the Goodbye, Mr. Murphy
Fire, it's terrible. Yeah, gotta put it out with some water. You know that one?
Yeah, that was it. Nice.
Do you guys remember like the Goodbye, Mr. Murphy song?
No.
When Mr. Murphy retired?
Yeah, I remember he retired. I don't remember he had a song.
Goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. No, nobody.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
We all sang it to him.
But no, the bug song.
Oh my gosh, I'm so.
Our mascot was a falcon, and we like prioritized frogs for whatever reason. And I was like, what?
This bug song was like, we're being unusually good. Who's got the bug?
Oh,
remember
okay.
it?
Yeah.
Now that you just sang that, I have a like flashbacks.
Yeah. You can't just say, "Oh, bug song." Hey, bug song?
Yeah, you gotta get my gears going.
You know bug song?
I know the firefighter bug song. You know. Bug. Do you remember the monthly like super teacher?
I was just gonna say this like opened up the memories of like Super O or whatever it was.
I don't remember
because it was every 100 days or something, right?
It was every month, like teacher of the month or something. I remember.
There was something that had to deal with ones and O's. It was some like 100 days or
kids learning binary. Like,
because I remember there was like it landed so specifically, you know, like how we just had like Tuesday. It was like 222 whatever, and it was on a Tuesday. It was something like that with like the hundreds. It was maybe it was like that was the 100th day or something like that had like landed coincidentally. And then, that was like the biggest party of all of them. It was like, oh my gosh, it landed on the day 100.
It was like November 11th of 2011 was 11/11/11.
Yeah, but
that could have been the 100th day.
I gotta think back. So that's like 10 years. Have been
100th day.
I remember.
I don't remember anything what you were talking about, but I just remember making Mr. Sternig like a human sundae in 4th grade and spraying whipped cream in his nose, his ear.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember back in I think kindergarten or first grade, it was like Easter. We all made our like Easter baskets and put them outside, and like the Easter bunny would put the candy outside, and you had to go find your Easter basket. You remember that?
No.
Dude,
No.
Fair Park did a lot of weird stuff. Not gonna lie, but
Hey.
it was good. It was good though.
There
'Cause-
was one day Mr. Sternick came out and played football.
Yes.
With us, and he was like the quarterback, and we like every time nobody got the ball, we all went over to him like, "Why did you throw to me? I was open." And he would go, "You think Donald Driver complains every time he gets back to the huddle?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's a good point."
And because Mr. Sternig is like, okay, like you gotta play out the entire setting. We're in elementary school, right? So I don't know how old we are, like 8 to or like 7 to 10 or 7 to 11 or whatever.
Yeah.
And Mr. Sternig is, I don't know how old he was, but
Late
this
20s,
dude chucks a football, like a decent distance, and I remember catching that, and that hurt like crazy. Like I caught that, I threw it back, and then I just imagine myself like
Fell
turning
over.
around and be like, "Oh my gosh, this hurts."
Did you guys ever go to the Boys and Girls Club?
Only
Mm-mm.
on like days where no.
No. It's ever since I think all of middle school, all of like 5th grade, and I think 6th grade, all of Silverbrook. At the end of the day, I would always go to the Boys and Girls Club, and like the gym time was so fun because the like helpers or like the staff, they would come in and they'd play games with everybody. And I remember this one this one time playing kickball, and one of the staff was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go up and kick." So he goes up and he kicks this rubber ball, and it square hits someone right in the face.
Oh my gosh.
You could hear like the boom. The kid was down for the count.
All right, we had our moment. We reminisce. Now
Yeah.
let's talk about the things that make us angry.
Good old days.
Vanguard came out with ranked play recently. We all hopped on yesterday. What do we think?
I think for a last-ditch effort to make the game viable and good again, that's very good.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think that's what they needed, like at the start.
Mhm.
And I think that's like literally how it boils down every COD game. Because like even Cold War, and again, I stand by Cold War being a decent game at least. Like you can't say that that's worse than
It was a good
Vanguard
filler.
Launch or MW19. Like that game, at least mechanically, I can't like attest for its graphics and setting because still Cold War is still in the past and it's boring. But like for that game's mechanics, it was good. But then ranked play was also introduced, and then it got a little upsurge of players again. And I feel like, yeah, for this being Vanguard's like last ditch effort, like they at least did it correct. And so then like the game itself is still kind of cheeks, but ranked play is pretty decent. So
I could never find a groove with Cold War mechanics. I did not like it. I enjoyed playing like GBs or hopping in a ranked or like game battles or not game battles. The two this is 2-on-2s. Yeah, the gunfights. I enjoyed that. But like it felt so clunky to me, the game itself. I didn't think the graphics were good. I liked the frames I got with the game.
true.
But Vanguard ranked is obviously great. They got a couple things they got to get out of like waiting in a lobby too long when people leave or disconnect.
Yeah.
That's a problem that I was experiencing. A ton of problems with textures just like breaking, and I had like brown fractals coming out of the ground and like blue orbs blocking my entire vision. I couldn't see a thing. And I think that's a known issue. That's got to get fixed just because it makes it unplayable at times. But overall, ranked play is definitely so much fun. I like that edition of it. But we also have a new COD getting announced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Modern Warfare remastered. It's gonna be the same game. It's gonna be same game. Freaking put a 2 at the end of it.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, the story's going to advance. Like, look at it this way. They're going to take Modern Warfare 1, find the problems, and make it better. I would think. I don't think they're going to cater to
They're gonna need
little
3 years.
boys again.
No, 100% they are.
You
like,
think?
They're definitely going to, I think, take feedback from 19 because they know they're going to need to, just because this game is going to be 2 years long now.
People are gonna buy it anyway. It's a COD.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that just because it has a Modern Warfare name, it's going to sell like crazy.
Well, you have to be convinced that Terminal's coming back. You would have to think.
Terminal's not even a good map.
Yeah, Terminal's awesome.
Terminal is a good map.
Okay, listen.
I think, though,
Okay.
so
go ahead.
one thing I want to bring up is, because this is going to be a 2-year game, you know, we had like the Warzone refresh, you know, and it went back to, you know, Warzone Season 1 because of it going through Cold War. And so the thing that scares me is they are going to have 2 years on this game. The game's already in alpha, so it's like it's getting worked on like really intensively. And I guess it's making good progress because they had the year of being able to work on it because of Vanguard. So, like, the game might have a good launch just because of that. But then I'm afraid, even though they have 2 years and 2 years of dedication on it, they're just not going to update it like every other COD game. You would think that they do because they're solely focused on this. But at the same time, I'm afraid they're just going to be like, oh, well, let's wait until year 2, season 1. Then we'll do a big, fantastic update like they did with Warzone to make up for it. But then it's still just going to suck for another year.
I'm excited to see what happens with Warzone and the story. The Modern Warfare story is really good. They got like they just rebranded the characters and they changed up the story a little bit. I'm excited to see where that goes. But like in terms of balancing of guns, like you gotta make more guns viable. Like,
and
I think
bring it back to like when every gun was usable. It's preference at that point.
Yeah.
Well, and even with
you gotta fix the maps too.
Yeah.
Because Modern Warfare maps and spawns were broken. I have not experienced any problems with Vanguard spawns in pubs, or I mean in ranked.
Yeah, and ranked is definitely different. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely a different setting, but yeah, in like Vanguard ranked right now, like I said it last night, like these Vanguard ranked maps at least are like fire.
Good.
Like these are good maps.
And the maps on Modern Warfare 2019, like everything is just huge, and it takes a year to run anywhere. And by the time you get there, you just get mowed down by a shotgun in a corner.
Yeah.
And that's what made it invigorating. Like better maps, nerf shotguns. Like obviously make them a usable option. I remember Black Ops 1. You could use a shotgun, but it wasn't OP. Like you could run the stakeout, you could run the spaz, and it would work
at a certain distance.
It would work in the range it's supposed to.
Right. That was one of my favorite things, being a nine-year-old kid sitting in top of the firing range building with a stakeout and just sitting there and like waiting for you to push me, and I'll be, I got you.
I got a clip on Facebook somewhere of me singing "Party in the USA" by Miley Cyrus and playing Nuketown on Black Ops 1, laying down in the top of a building with a AK-74U.
Nice.
You used to be everything we hate. You used to be everything we hate.
I remember.
See, I wasn't that good to the point where like they would run in and I would have like a 2-second delay in my brain of shooting. So they could get me.
Yeah, and I just want to state, because Modern Warfare, you know, the 2019 now it's going to be Modern Warfare 2022 too. The game is still set in like the same, you know, time and everything. And so it's like, it is modern, but it's not like semi-futuristic, which I think is going to be, again, I mean, it is essentially a remaster of 19. But just to like further impact that worsely is that it's not at least semi-futuristic, because the guns for 2022, it's probably going to be the exact same stuff. Because like, yeah, you'll have like, they probably won't have like the Kilo and the M13 and stuff like that. Like they'll probably ditch all those and have new guns, but they'll probably still have like an M4 and an MP5, or at least variants of. And then even in 2019, like the Kilo and the M13 and the M4 and all the other ARs were essentially exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they had stats differences, but
There's, like,
essentially
variants of
exactly
the
the same.
M4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially with Gunsmith being the way Gunsmith is, I could take my Kilo and make it one of the other guns if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, and me and Ryan talked about this, I think, on one of the past podcasts as well, is just like Gunsmith needs to go, I feel like. But I think, for 2022, of course, Gunsmith is going to be here. The guns, I think, might, like, if they don't have variety, it's going to be rough. Yeah, and the maps just need to be good.
Gunsmith can be okay if they don't treat it like a million attachments and a million different ammo. If they don't treat it like Vanguard, Vanguard's the worst. There's so many different things you have to add and think about. That is garbage. If it's just like 3 to 4 attachments per slot, and there's like 5 slots instead of 10 slots, oh, okay. Then we're talking.
But Frankie,
I'll argue that Black Ops 4 had the best attachment system.
Yeah.
Because every gun could have 1 to 2 attachments, and if you want more, you put the gunfighter perks on, and it gives you 3, and that also takes up another slot for potentially a pistol or a perk or a throwable.
Because like imagine like get transported back to like Black Ops 1, whatever game, and just think about like going into your creative class and just picking your AR's attachments and just having like red dot,
Silencer.
long barrel, FMJ,
Oh.
and then like quick mags. Like that was literally it. Like that's all we had to
Black Ops
work
1,
with.
You could only choose 2.
Well, okay, I'm just saying, literally
Yeah,
all games past MW19.
Yeah.
That's how it was. And that was way more just enjoyable, I feel like, hopping on and just doing that. Then let me grind this gun to 70 levels.
Yeah, the grinding is a problem.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
Get double
But-
XP, man. I don't know.
Oh, hey, Infinity Ward, don't mess it up.
Yeah,
Make it good.
please. Because
Make it
now
good.
your game's going to be 2 years long. So.
Yeah. So.
But then the next
Yeah, this
game is going to be a Black Ops refresh. And so then that game is, I hope, because now they have the time of Vanguard and the 2 years of Modern Warfare. They have
That's
3
3
years to work on it. This game is going to be banging.
Hopefully. Yeah. Well, were we sitting on time, Crouton?
Oh, we're done.
Hey, we're done. Hopefully you enjoyed our conversations today. Hopefully we didn't take your time up too much or keep you here too long. If you did enjoy this podcast, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you listen on iTunes or Spotify, leave us a rating. Leave us a comment. We love to talk to you, boost our ratings so we can reach more people. We'd love to meet you guys, love to talk to you guys. But thank you so much for watching this on a 4:30 Sunday afternoon on YouTube with visuals, or on Sunday morning at 7:30 on Spotify and iTunes. Watch out for our regular uploads on Wednesday at 4:30 on YouTube, the Glimpse YouTube channel. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.